Imagine a state beyond all comprehension, where the boundless universe rests in profound stillness. The eternal parent, wrapped in ever-invisible robes, slumbers in absolute unity. Darkness alone fills immensity, for nothing exists outside this infinite void. Time is unknown, for no change has yet stirred the eternal calm. No light pierces the obscurity, no sound disturbs the silence. Yet within this dreamless sleep, life pulsates unconsciously throughout universal space. The eternal parent, wrapped in her ever-invisible robes, had slumbered once again for 7 eternities. In this primal night, the causes of existence remain unmanifested. The universal mind is not yet awakened, and the 7 sublime lords rest in supreme bliss. All potentialities merge into oneness, where being and non-being are indistinguishable. Alone, the one form of existence stretches boundless, infinite, and causeless. This period of cosmic rest, known as the Great Night of the Universe, precedes every cycle of manifestation. The all is absorbed into the absolute, where distinctions vanish. The great breath, eternal and unknowing of itself, abides in ceaseless harmony. As the slumber deepens, the roots of future worlds lie hidden in divine thought. No builders yet stir, no luminous suns of dawn emerge. Svabhavat, the self-existent essence, rests as the root of all. The universe remains concealed in the divine bosom, awaiting the spark of awakening. Consider the profound mystery. In this state, the eternal parent encompasses all that will ever be. Darkness radiates the potential for light, and the void holds the seeds of infinite creation. Life, though unconscious, thrills through the boundless expanse, preparing for the dawn. The hour has not struck, no ray has flashed into the germ. All dwells in paranirvana, the ultimate peace beyond manifestation. Here, the pilgrim soul returns to its source, merging with the one reality. Yet this rest is not emptiness, but fullness beyond measure. The one element, imponderable and living, sustains all. Space itself is this eternal substance, the playground of countless universes to come. Behold the grandeur of this cosmic foundation. From absolute abstraction arises the possibility of concrete existence. The great wheel turns slowly, encompassing cycles within cycles. In this primal unity lies the origin of all diversity. As we contemplate this dawnless night, the mind expands toward the infinite. The eternal parent, source of all, holds within itself the archetypes of every form. No separation exists. Spirit and matter are one in undifferentiated essence. The pulsation of life, subtle and ceaseless, marks the boundary between rest and activity. Though dreamless, this sleep vibrates with latent power, ready to unfold the wonders of manifestation. Thus begins the sacred narrative of origins, revealing the hidden foundations upon which the cosmos builds. The invisible robes conceal mysteries that only the inner eye can perceive. In this boundless darkness, the one life abides eternally. No duality disrupts the harmony. All is potential, waiting for the vibration that will initiate the great awakening. The universal oversoul Alaya remains in its pristine state. The Dhyan Chohan's future architects rest in bliss. Nothing manifests, yet everything is present in seed. Reflect upon this profound truth. The night of the universe is the womb of all days to come. From this absolute negation springs the affirmation of boundless worlds. The eternal breath, knowing itself not, sustains the equilibrium. No will directs it, for will arises only with differentiation. As the slumber continues, the great peace envelops all. This is the state of paranirvana, where the highest adepts merge at the end of great cycles. The one reality, beyond name or attribute, abides unchanging. All illusions of separateness dissolve here, revealing the ultimate unity. Thus the cosmic foundations rest secure in eternal stillness, preparing for the majestic unfolding that follows. The dawn of life approaches, hidden within the depths of this infinite night. As the great cosmic dawn unfolds, the universe awakens from its profound rest. The vibration of the seventh eternity thrills through infinitude, swelling the mother essence from within outward, like the bud of the lotus. Darkness radiates light, and light drops one solitary ray into the depths, causing the eternal egg to thrill and condense into the world egg. The radiant child emerges from the great dark waters, shining forth as the blazing divine dragon of wisdom. The one becomes the 3, the 4, the 5, and twice 7, the essences, flames, elements, builders, formless and formed forces uniting in divine harmony. Behold the beginning of sentient formless life. First the divine, the 1 from the mother spirit, then the spiritual. The 3 from the 1, the 4 from the 1, and the 5 from which descend the 3, 5, and 7. These are the threefold and fourfold downward, the mind-born sons of the First Lord, the shining 7. The swift radiant one produces the 7 centers of neutrality, foundations eternal, against which none prevail until the great day of unity. Fohat calls forth the elusive form and the 7 elements from the lower abyss. Of the 7, first 1 manifests while 6 remain concealed. Then 2 appear, 5 hidden, 3 manifest, 4 concealed, 4 produced, 3 hidden, 4 and 1 revealed, 2 and 1/2 concealed, 6 await manifestation, 1 set aside. The primordial 7 sons spring from the primordial flame, born of the web of light. Darkness alone was father-mother, the self-existent essence in profound stillness. The root of life resides in every drop of the ocean of immortality. The ocean radiates light, fire, heat, motion. Darkness vanishes into its own essence, the body of fire and water, father and mother united. The radiant child of the 2 emerges unparalleled in glory. Bright space, son of dark space, arises from the depths. He marks places for the shining ones, turning the upper into a shoreless sea of fire and the manifested into great waters. Where was the germ? Where darkness? The germ is light, the white brilliant sun of the dark hidden father. Light is cold flame, flame is fire producing heat, yielding water, the water of life in the great mother. The root remains, the light remains, the curds remain, yet the younger one abides as unity. The root of life pulses in every drop, the ocean radiant with fire, heat, motion. Fohat hardens the atoms, each part of the web reflecting the self-existent Lord like a mirror, each in turn becoming a world. The army of the voice arises, sparks subject to the 1st through 7th. These divine sparks, shadows from brilliant bodies of their progenitors, emanate from the self-born. The wheel turns, older wheels rotate, giving impulse to new ones. Fohat traces spiral lines, uniting fire and water in cosmic embrace. The sons are instructed to create their images. 1/3 refuses, 2 obey. The curse falls upon the disobedient, yet the obedient descend. Nature unaided strives to form beings, yet falls short in perfection. The breath needs form, the fathers provide it. The breath needs gross body, the earth molds it. The breath needs spirit of life, solar beings breathe it in. The breath needs mirror of its body, astral shadow provided. The breath needs vehicle of desires, it receives it. Yet mind to embrace the universe remains absent. The form would consume if granted higher fire. Nascent humanity lingers empty, senseless shadow. Thus nature's early efforts shape ethereal forms, shadows awaiting fuller animation. The lunar progenitors clothe monads in astral selves, yet true thinking principle awaits. The great Chohans, lords of the moon with airy bodies, bring forth men of their nature. They fashion physical forms at new cycles, inferior spirits with dual bodies, astral within ethereal. These lunar ancestors create the initial human stock, mind-born sons projecting chayas, shadowy images. The first race emerges as sons of yoga, ethereal and radiant. They possess no physical density, subsisting on delight alone, bodies self-luminous without sun or moon. Miraculous in birth, infinite in potential lifespan, faculties complete, traveling skies through miraculous powers. No distinction of day and night, illuminated by inner light. Nature fashions these primordial beings in divine likeness, yet unaided, lacks the spark of higher intelligence. The forms remain boneless, jelly-like protoplasm gradually condensing. The wheel of life turns, monads descending through kingdoms, mineral, vegetable, animal in ethereal states. The lunar pitris provide vehicles, yet higher awakening pending. Contemplate this profound mystery. Nature's striving produces wondrous forms, yet perfection eludes without divine intervention from superior realms. The early efforts lay foundations for humanity's ascent, shadows expanding under solar warmth, breaths alive yet without understanding. Thus unfolds the sacred narrative, revealing nature's persistent labor in shaping the vessels for eternal sparks. I'm giving away a copy of the book Stanzas of Dzyan to one of the most relevant favorite comments. In the meantime, you can leave a like and press boost if available and if you like this video. Details in the description. Let's continue. The great wheel continues its majestic turn, and the moment arrives when the divine flame must separate into distinct forms. The lords of the flame, radiant and perfect, gaze upon the shadowy vessels shaped by nature's early labors. These ethereal shadows, born of the lunar ancestors, drift without purpose, lacking the sacred fire of mind that illuminates true understanding. The higher lords, the solar pitris of blazing wisdom, awaken to their divine duty. They behold the senseless forms wandering in the dim twilight of existence. Compassion stirs within their luminous essence, for the hour has come to bestow the gift that elevates mere shadow into self-aware being. The Manasaputras, sons of mind, descend from higher spheres. These exalted beings, aglow with the light of universal intelligence, refuse not the sacred task. Where lesser spirits hesitated, these solar lords advance willingly, ready to ignite the dormant spark within humanity's nascent forms. The divine rebels, those who once defied in pride, now witness the descent of their superiors. The obedient ones, shining in glory, approach the waiting vessels. A profound mystery unfolds as the higher fire merges with the lower forms, kindling the flame of self-consciousness. The spark of mind penetrates the shadowy bodies, awakening the inner eye. What was empty and drifting now stirs with awareness. The monads, eternal pilgrims, receive the vehicle capable of reflection, aspiration, and knowledge of good and evil. The separation of the sexes begins in this sacred era, where once forms reproduced as ethereal shadows through will and yoga, now division manifests. The androgynous beings divide into male and female, preparing for denser embodiment in future cycles. The lords of the moon, with their airy and ethereal nature, fade in influence as the solar light prevails. Their progeny, the early mindless humanity, transforms under the touch of divine intelligence. The chayas thicken, becoming capable of sustaining the higher principle. Fohet, the dynamic energy of cosmic mind, traces new paths of force. Electric fire unites with primal flame, building bridges between spirit and matter. The 7 zones differentiate, each governed by its presiding intelligence. The great sacrifice commences. The solar lords renounce their blissful state in higher realms to dwell within limited forms. This descent, born of boundless compassion, ensures the evolution of all lesser lives. Without this gift, humanity would remain forever chained to instinct alone. The flame of intellect burns brightly now within the human temple. Perception sharpens, will awakens, and the sense of individuality emerges. The divine spark, though veiled, connects each being to the universal oversoul. Yet not all receive the light equally. Some forms remain more shadowed, lingering in lower vibrations. Others rise swiftly, their inner fire blazing toward divine perfection. Thus begins the great divergence among humanity's early stocks. The sacred island, home of the divine progenitors, shines with unearthly radiance. Here the higher lords instruct their earthly images, revealing fragments of cosmic wisdom. The first golden age dawns, where gods walk among men. The breath of the divine flame animates the astral forms, clothing them in denser sheaths. Bone begins to form within the jelly-like substance, providing structure for future density. The human frame prepares for earthly embodiment. The solar pitris, having accomplished their mission, withdraw gradually, leaving behind the seed of mind to grow through experience. Humanity now stands at the threshold of self-directed evolution, bearing the responsibility of its divine heritage. Contemplate the magnitude of this offering. Perfect beings descend into imperfection to uplift the struggling lives below. This act of cosmic love echoes through all cycles, reminding every soul of its ultimate origin in divine light. The separation complete, the dual nature of existence manifests fully. Spirit and matter, once undifferentiated, now dance in harmonious interplay within the human form. The path of return begins, leading upward through countless trials toward reunion with the Source. The higher lords watch from celestial heights as their sparks navigate the great illusion. Guidance flows subtly through intuition and inspiration, aiding those who seek the inner light. Thus, the sacred narrative reveals the pivotal moment when humanity crosses the threshold from shadow to light, from instinct to intelligence, from divine projection to independent being. The role of the higher lord stands eternal, to awaken, to elevate, to illuminate the path through darkness toward everlasting dawn. The divine flame has now fully ignited within the human form, and the great cycle advances toward the manifestation of the earliest true races. The first root race, born of divine will and ethereal essence, emerges complete in its luminous perfection. These beings, radiant and self-luminous, possess bodies of pure fire mist without density or shadow. They are the sons of yoga, mind born from the shining progenitors, existing as subtle auras of light upon the sacred imperishable land. This holy ground, untouched by later cataclysms, rises as the crown of the earth, bathed in eternal dawn. Here the first humanity dwells in blissful unity, knowing neither strife nor separation. Their forms require no sustenance beyond the ambrosia of divine energy, and their consciousness embraces the universal whole without distinction of self. The first race multiplies through divine projection, each being dividing its essence by the power of Kriya Shakti, the will to create. No physical birth mars their perfection. They remain androgynous, beyond the dualities that later arise. Immense in stature yet weightless, they glide through space untouched by earthly gravity. As the wheel turns onward, the second root race begins to condense from the fiery essence of the first. These progeny, known as the sweat-born, emerge from the Hyperborean regions where warmth and moisture awaken denser vibration. The ethereal bodies of the first gradually exude a vital fluid, and from this moisture, under the influence of cosmic heat, the second race forms. Still boneless and semi-ethereal, these beings possess greater differentiation than their predecessors. They inhabit lands of perpetual twilight, where the sun neither rises nor sets in full splendor. Their forms, though more defined, remain fluid and luminous, capable of expansion and contraction at will. The second race reproduces through exudation, droplets of vital essence separating to become independent forms. Androgynous still, they contain within themselves the latent seeds of future separation. Their consciousness, though vast, begins to focus inward, perceiving subtle distinctions in the great dream of manifestation. The sacred land extends its influence, and continents of mist and light support these early humanities. No oceans of water yet divide the globe. Instead, seas of fire and vapor surround the imperishable center. The atmosphere, dense with vital forces, nourishes beings who breathe the essence of life directly. These early races know neither death nor decay, for their vehicles dissolve at will when the inner spark seeks higher experience. Rebirth occurs through divine desire, each monad reclothing itself in fresh aura drawn from parental essence. The Lords of the Flame continue their silent guidance, imparting impulses that shape the evolving forms. Fohat builds ever denser sheaths, preparing the way for greater embodiment. The elements differentiate further, fire yielding to air, air preparing to condense into water. The first and second races dwell in harmony with cosmic law, their actions aligned with universal rhythm. No karma binds them yet, for free will remains unexercised in separation. They exist as pure reflections of divine thought, mirrors of the archetypal humanity. Contemplate the splendor of these primordial beings, giants of light whose gaze penetrates all veils, whose thought moves worlds in embryo. Their wisdom embraces the secrets of cosmic evolution, revealed directly by the shining ones who watch from higher spheres. The earth itself vibrates in sympathy with these exalted lives, its substance yielding willingly to divine purpose. Minerals glow within a fire, plants unfold as radiant geometries, animals appear only in ethereal outline. The second race reaches its zenith, multiplying across vast regions of soft, yielding land. Their forms grow more individualized, though still transparent to inner vision. The latent polarity stirs, foreshadowing the great division to come. Thus, the sacred narrative unveils the pure beginnings of humanity, races of divine origin dwelling in realms of light and harmony. From fire mist to vital moisture, the forms descend gently, each stage perfect in its appointed hour. The imperishable land stands witness to these wonders, its peaks touching the heavens where the progenitors abide. Here the foundation of all future humanity is laid, pure and unsullied by later strife. The emergence complete, the early races shine as beacons of what humanity once was, and may yet become when the long cycle returns to its source. The great cycle advances further, and the third root race emerges from the condensation of the second. These beings, known as the sweat-born, arise when the vital moisture exuded by the parental forms thickens under increasing heat. Droplets separate from the ethereal bodies, growing into independent vessels that gradually acquire greater density. Still boneless at first, their substance resembles a luminous jelly, capable of assuming varied shapes through will alone. In the early phases of this race, reproduction remains through exudation and budding. The forms divide or release vital essence that coalesces into new beings, perfect images of the parent. Androgynous in nature, they contain within themselves the full polarity of creation, neither male nor female, yet both in latent unity. As time progresses within this vast epoch, a profound transformation begins. The great law of separation manifests fully, and the androgynous forms divide into distinct sexes. The first true male and female appear, marking the midpoint of the third root race. This division, ordained by cosmic necessity, prepares the way for denser embodiment and individual experience. With separation comes the egg-born mode of reproduction. The vital essence now forms within a protective shell, emerging as offspring that slowly grow toward maturity. These early eggs, vast in size compared to later forms, contain beings of immense stature, towering giants whose bodies begin to harden with the first traces of bone. The continents shift and solidify, vast lands rising from seas of vapor. The Lemurian continent stretches across equatorial regions, bathed in perpetual warmth and moisture. Here the third humanity multiplies exceedingly, spreading across fertile plains and forested heights. Their skin, at first golden yellow, glows with inner vitality. The solar pitris continue to oversee the unfolding, their influence deepening the spark of mind. Consciousness expands, language forms through thought projection, and the first rudimentary societies emerge. Great cities of stone begin to rise, shaped by collective will and knowledge imparted from higher realms. Yet not all follow the path of harmonious evolution. Some among the early separated beings, drawn by the pull of matter, discover physical union before the appointed hour. This premature descent into dense generation brings forth offspring of mixed nature, accelerating the hardening of forms. The later portions of the third race witness the birth of the truly physical human. Bone fully forms, stature diminishes gradually, and the bodies become capable of labor upon the earth. The sweat-born give way to those born of the egg, and finally to those requiring the full process of gestation. The divine instructors, incarnated among the early stocks, teach arts and sciences suited to the awakening mind. Agriculture begins, fire is mastered through sacred knowledge, and the first temples rise in honor of the flame that dwells within. A portion of humanity, guided by the highest among the solar lords, preserves the purity of divine wisdom. These elect form the seed of future advancement, guardians of the sacred fire amid growing materiality. Others, yielding to sensation, descend more rapidly into physical existence. Their offspring multiply swiftly, bodies condensing into greater solidity. The great divergence widens. One path leads toward spiritual mastery, another toward mastery of earthly forces. The Lemurian race reaches its zenith in power and knowledge, building vast civilizations that span continents. Their priests commune directly with celestial intelligences, receiving revelations that shape the destiny of the race. Yet the wheel turns inexorably, and the seeds of decline appear. Misuse of sacred forces born of separation and desire begins to cloud the inner vision. The divine flame, though burning still, becomes veiled by increasing density. The later Lemurians, now fully physical, develop strong individual wills. Great wars arise among rival kingdoms, and the knowledge of cosmic energies is turned toward destruction. As the continent faces its appointed dissolution, the elect are guided to safer lands. The sacred fire is carried forward, preserved for future races. The majority, bound by karma, descend into the trials that purify through suffering. Thus, the third root race completes its vast arc, from sweat-born ethereal giants to egg-born separated beings, and finally to the physical ancestors of later humanity. The descent into matter reaches its deepest point, preparing the ground for the ascent to come. Contemplate this pivotal epoch, the moment when humanity chooses individuality over unity, sensation over pure spirit. Yet within every form burns the undying spark, awaiting the hour of awakening. The sacred narrative reveals the courage required to embrace limitation, that through experience, the divine may know itself in fullness. Before moving on to the end, subscribe, leave a like, and check out the question in the comments. The wheel of manifestation turns once more, and from the remnants of the great Lemurian catastrophe emerges the fourth root race. These beings, inheritors of both divine fire and earthly trial, establish themselves upon the vast continent of Atlantis. Rising from the ashes of prior dissolution, they carry forward the sacred spark, now tempered by experience and individual will. The Atlanteans, mighty in stature and power, build civilizations of unparalleled splendor. Their earliest stocks, guided by divine kings and initiated priests, erect cities of stone and crystal that harness cosmic forces. Towers pierce the heavens, vehicles traverse land and air through knowledge of vibration, and the arts flourish in harmony with natural law. The divine instructors, remnants of the solar lords, dwell openly among the elect. Sacred mysteries are taught in great temples, where initiates learn to command the elements and commune with higher spheres. The flame of wisdom burns brightly, illuminating sciences that unite spirit and matter in perfect balance. As the race advances, diversity increases. Sub-races arise, each marked by distinct characteristics and destined roles. The Toltecs, among the earliest and noblest, rule with justice under emperor initiates, establishing empires of peace and prosperity that span vast oceans. Golden in complexion and immense in height, these rulers embody the lingering divinity of prior cycles. Their monuments endure through ages, testifying to knowledge far surpassing later understanding. Gardens of unearthly beauty flourish, sustained by mastery over vital forces. Yet the law of cycles brings inevitable change. Later sub-races, yielding to ambition and separation, turn sacred knowledge toward personal power. Sorcery arises, blending divine science with desire. Great wars shake the continent as rival sorcerer kings wield forces capable of rending the earth itself. The divine spark, though present in all, becomes veiled in many. Material splendor overshadows spiritual aspiration, and the race divides sharply between those who serve the light and those who embrace shadow. The fifth root race dawns amid the final convulsions of Atlantis. Chosen seeds, preserved through foresight of the guardians, migrate to new lands in the east and west. From these elect arises our present humanity, bearers of the mind principle in its fullest individual expression. The Aryan race, as it is called, begins its long journey through sub-races of varying destiny. Early stocks establish centers of learning in ancient Asia, where the sacred wisdom is guarded in hidden sanctuaries. Great teachers appear periodically, revealing fragments of the eternal doctrine to prepared disciples. Civilizations rise and fall in rhythmic succession. Empires of wisdom and beauty alternate with periods of darkness, each cycle offering opportunity for souls to advance toward divine perfection. Knowledge is preserved through initiatic chains, passing unbroken from age to age. The sacred fire carried forward from the earliest dawns now burns within the heart of every human being. Though veiled by illusion, it awaits awakening through effort and aspiration. The path of return opens wide, leading through trials that purify and elevate. Later sub-races bring forth sciences of matter, exploring the outer world with increasing precision. Yet the inner mysteries remain accessible to those who seek beyond appearance. Great avatars descend at critical turning points, renewing the ancient teachings in forms suited to the time. The earth itself responds to humanity's vibration, yielding treasures when harmony prevails, and withholding when discord reigns. Cycles of abundance follow cycles of trial, mirroring the inner state of the collective soul. As the present subrace approaches its zenith, signs appear of coming transition. The veil between worlds thins for those with eyes to see, and impulses from higher spheres quicken evolution. The choice stands ever before humanity, to rise toward unity or descend further into separation. The sacred narrative closes its revelation of origins, yet the story continues eternally. Each race, each cycle, adds to the grand tapestry of cosmic experience. The divine plan unfolds without haste, ensuring that every spark returns enriched to the eternal flame. Contemplate the vast arc from primordial fire mist to the thinking beings of today. Through countless forms and worlds, the one life expresses itself in endless diversity. The hidden source, the Book of Dzyan, whispers these truths to those who listen in silence. The advanced races, past and future, stand as milestones upon the endless path. Atlantis shines as warning and promise, reminding that power without wisdom leads to ruin, while wisdom with compassion leads to immortality. Thus the cycles of civilization reveal their profound purpose: to awaken the God within, to unite the many in the one, to complete the great return to the boundless light from which all emerged.